Hey there, survivors. Cougar here, back with more No Man's Sky Next guided gameplay. We are picking up right where we left off at the end of the last episode. We have set down on our second planet, and the game wants us to mine copper in order to build a base computer. Now, I would rather not build a base here on this less than friendly planet with the toxic rain falling. Now, it is more hospitable than the last planet we were on with the that was superheated all the time, and we were constantly having to deal with that. Now, the toxic rain here will stop eventually, and so it's more hospitable than the last one we were on, but still not terribly hospitable. So why don't we take off and go find a better planet? We might knock out a few scans as long as we're here. Things that we haven't scanned yet, like that. And then let's check out that damaged machinery that was here at the site we set down at. See if this has something that we can repair quickly and easily. We need chromatic metal to do that. That's not easy for us right now. Eventually it will be, because we'll have copper and we'll have a refiner. We could mine copper here and put it down in order to get that, but I don't think that's super important for us to do. I'd rather continue with the tutorial aspects here. Nothing found in this. We found some life support gel there. That's good. A damaged container we have to chip the rust off of in order to get out what's inside. We'll pick up that rusted metal and put it in our exosuit. And that allows us to get more life support gel from inside there. And here is a beacon kind of thing that we can use to save our game here and chart the surroundings. Great. So we'll get some credits for having located that beacon and hit it. Now I think we're just going to get out of here. Let's go find a more hospitable planet on which to set up our base. W to take off. And head right up. Let's just look around here a second before we take off. Yeah, this is kind of this isn't a very pretty planet, is it? It's kind of drab and gray and green. Cool rock formations. Ooh, a lake. Yeah, so you can go down into the water here and build bases underwater if you want to. I've never done it. There's a resource outcropping. That looks like a big, well, no, that may have just been discoloration on the terrain. A sec. Yeah, I think that's just some funky colors on the terrain. That's a resource deposit. That's copper. That's copper. But every time you land and take off in your ship, oops, it uses up your launch fuel. And we have a limited supply, so I'm not going to just land just to mine that copper. I want to get us to the place where we are actually going to have a base before that happens. So let's head up into orbit. And let's have a look at some of the other planets in this solar system. So if we put our cursor over a planet, it'll tell us that it's unknown, and we can use C to scan it. Wait for our scan to get there. That is an Arctic planet. That's not a good place to build a base right now for our first base. The planet we were just on, we are a little too close to. Whoops. Was it giving us C to scan that? That's a toxic planet. Obviously, we were just there. You can find some fungal stuff there. An unknown planet. Scan it. Scanner's recharging. Hold on. That is a desolate planet. That would not be a terrible place to have a base. It's got silver, pyrite, and copper, along with cactus flesh. Not terrible, but I would love to find a bountiful planet in this solar system, if that's at all possible. We've been there. Oh, that's the desolate planet we just scanned. There's a space station. Always nice to have space stations nearby, but I think we're limited on the planets in this solar system. There aren't a lot here. Why don't we go ahead and head to the desolate planet? It's not perfect, but it's better than these other ones. It's better than the Arctic or the toxic, right? Alright. Engaging pulse engine. Not sure how long it's going to take us to get there. We have no markers. Our pulse engine is offline due to insufficient fuel. Now, in order to get the fuel to recharge our pulse engine, we need... Hold on. We need tritium. Now, tritium can be mined from these asteroids here. So let's just do a little asteroid mining to get our pulse engine back online. We picked up some silver and probably tritium as well. Yeah, okay, so we're picking up tritium as well as silver here. That's probably going to be enough to go in to our pulse engine. Click on the tritium to recharge it. That gave us a little bit. We should probably pick up a little bit more. We're getting gold and silver from these asteroids, so this is a good asteroid field to be mining. Silver, I've found, is relatively easy to come by, but gold is a bit harder. Plus, it's kind of cool to blow these up. Alright, we got a bunch more tritium now. Let's plug all of that into our pulse engine. Alright, now it's fully recharged now. Now we just need to find that planet we were heading for. It was this one, right? The desolate planet? Yeah, okay. And we are on our way. So I was talking about the incredible freedom and scale of this. I did mention that there are quest lines. Now there are at least 2 main quest lines that you can choose between as far as what you want to do. There are other quest lines as well, minor quest lines, in addition to those 2 main quest lines. Re-entering the atmosphere. And let's see if we can find something interesting on the surface to set down next to. Well, that's either gold or copper. Ooh, a couple of nice big resource deposits right here. But what I'd love to find... That's copper. So the other ones must have been gold, because that's definitely copper. What I'd like to find is some kind of structure, or a downed ship, or just something to be near to make it worthwhile setting down there. I mean, we can set down basically anywhere and start setting up our base right away, but it'd be neat to be near something cool. Another scan. Nothing's jumping out at me here. Oh, well, there's something. Alright, that's a crashed freighter. Probably not a horrible place to have a base. Why don't we set down here? Alright, let's check out the surroundings here. We're up on a nice elevated plateau here, which will give us good sight lines out around the area. I think we could do worse as far as finding a place to set up our base. This planet's kind of brown and ugly, but I think it's the best we're going to do right now. So let's go ahead and start a base here. We can always build other bases in other places. Let's see what the plants here are going to offer us. Obviously carbon. Carbon and cactus flesh. I don't know what cactus flesh is needed for yet. So there's going to be stuff for us to loot here around in this damaged freighter. But let's continue with the storyline as much as we can here, the tutorial storyline. We need to mine copper to build our base computer. So let's bring up our visor, look for some copper that's not too far away. Pyrite, floating crystal, cactus. There's copper at 480 units away. There's a cargo pod maybe buried there. Hold on, we tagged a mineral. Let's just see what it is. Memmonite. There's a cargo pod there that we can retrieve. It looks like it's buried. We can get that out another time. Still looking for... There's another cargo pod buried pretty close. Copper 466 may be the closest one. Copper 865. Copper 535. Cargo pod. Copper a click out. Another cargo pod. Copper 790 out. Copper 660. I think that 400 one we first identified was probably the closest one. Oop, there's a close one. 223. Let's go check that one out. So tag it by holding E on it. This is like a navigation beacon. If you find these, you can use them to bring your starship wherever you are, if it's somewhere else. But that's where you need one of those navigation data things that we picked up in the first episode. Remember, we found that cluster of like alien artifacts that were offering us some navigation data to pick up. So we ended up with 4 or 5 navigation data right off the start. That was a lucky find to begin with. Now, if this were just me playing, I would be scanning all this stuff. I don't want to bore you too much by making you watch me scan like 18 different things. But it's nice to know what you're dealing with, what's around you, what kind of resources it offers from harvesting. And, you know, it's just fun to scan stuff too. Alright, so here is a copper deposit that we will need the terrain manipulator tool to make happen. Pull up the, well, something, we have to actually make it first or something. Go to our mining tool. Install technology, E. To make the terrain manipulator, we need carbon nanotubes and dihydrogen jelly. So we need dihydrogen and we need carbon. I think we have a little bit of each of those. Not sure how much. We have only 7 dihydrogen and 109 copper. That's probably enough to make our carbon nanotubes. Did we need 2 or 1? We need 2 carbon nanotubes and 1 dihydrogen jelly. Back to the exosuit. Build me another carbon nanotube. Now we're down to 9 carbon. We should probably try to pick up more. And we need more dihydrogen. To find the dihydrogen, we use C to send out a scan, and there's some hydrogen right over there. Gives us the blue H. Hey there, cutie. What's your name? His name is Ovine Lixoralera. I'm going to call him Ollie. Bye, Ollie. It's nice meeting you. Alright, mining. Mining the dihydrogen. This is telling me it's unidentified, but we know what it is. Jescabite. Alright, again, this is a nice big patch of dihydrogen. This will give us plenty. Mining and grinding and mining and grinding. Weapon charge depleted. We need to hit X to recharge our... hit X to recharge our equipment and throw a little carbon in there. We're going to need more carbon soon. If you run completely out of carbon and you cannot actually mine anything, you can just hit it with your tool. And that'll give you a little bit of carbon that you can then use to recharge the mining tool and take it from there. Alright, that should be enough. Let's go to our inventory. Click on an empty slot to craft the dihydrogen jelly. Now we can go to the multi-tool, E, and click on the terrain manipulator, 2 times carbon nanotubes and 1 times dihydrogen jelly. Now we've got what we need to go over and get some copper. Hey, big boy. That is a Xenaafto. He looks like he'd be hostile, but he's not right now. And that must be on some other frequency, because that doesn't sound very loud. It sounds like it's on another frequency, doesn't it? Alright. So we pull up our tool again, hit G to switch to the terrain manipulator, and start grabbing some copper. And keep our ears open for any sentinels that are not going to be happy with us chewing up the terrain like this. This is a fairly good-sized copper deposit. It's not massive. It's not tiny. About in the middle. Copper is probably the most valuable resource in the game in terms of crafting. You are going to need a lot of chromium metal to build and repair stuff as you go through the game. So you can never have too much copper. Chromium metal comes from copper. You have to refine it. That's it. So that was not a huge deposit, but it was enough, I think, to get us where we need to be. Let's get back up to the ship and deploy our refiner, and then throw the copper in there. You know what we're going to need is carbon to fuel it. Get that from these cactus. Oops, that's the terrain manipulator. That's why I wasn't doing anything. Oh, sentinel. Doesn't like me burning up the cactus. Yeah, because there are so few cactus. We need to protect the cactus, right, sentinel? Right? We have reached a milestone. Probably just walking around milestone. Yep, setting out. We've traveled 8,000 units. Alright, back to the ship. Pick up a little more carbon along the way if I can, without that sentinel getting angry. Right. We've depleted our weapon charge. We need to put more carbon in it. And that used up all the carbon we had, so we're going to need more. We really need to find a tree. We'll probably get a lot of carbon off of these big cactuses over here. Let's go check some of those out. We're going to need this carbon. We need it before we can start refining. And we're going to need it to refuel our mining tool here. Oh, that's a big-sized plant there. That'll give us carbon and oxygen. These are really useful plants then. These are what we should be getting our carbon from, because it's also going to give us oxygen. More of them over here. Good. Plenty of them. Oh, is the sentinel getting interested in me? No. Now, these, I didn't mention this in the first episode. These ships you see flying overhead, those are not player controlled. Those are AI. They're just there to give the universe a little bit of life, and we've depleted the weapon charge already. Picking up carbon very slowly here, and that sentinel is interested in me now. Yes, he saw me blow up that cactus. Save the cactuses! Must protect the cactus. The cacti. Let's just try to get out of sight. Alright, we lost him. These big cactuses will give us carbon and nitrogen. We don't really need the nitrogen right now. I'd rather be picking up those carbon ones. I mean the oxygen ones. But these big ones will give us a lot, so... Am I hitting that? What am I hitting? Ah! Sentinel. Yes, Sentinel, don't mind me. Don't mind me. I'm leaving, I'm leaving. Alright, here's some more of the good ones with the oxygen in them. This is slow going on the carbon here so far. Ah, right, Sentinel. Sentinel loves that particular cactus a lot. Come on, run, sprint. Now you can upgrade your sprinting speed and duration. Obviously, I haven't yet because we just got started. That must be merged with the structure there. Okay, well, we'll just grab these last two little cactuses and go ahead and put down our refiner. And then while it's refining the copper, we can go out and get some more carbon. Alright, so Z, whoops, did that wrong. Z to bring up the build menu, and then scroll through to find the portable refiner. We've already built one. We picked it up after we built it, remember? Loaded up with carbon. See, that used up all the carbon we just harvested to fuel that all the way up. Now we put the copper in here. Scroll down. Where's the copper? Where's all the copper? There it is. These buttons are sticky. You just keep hitting them. Load that up with copper and begin making chromatic metal. While that is cooking, we can go off and do something else. I'd love to find some more of those carbon and oxygen cactuses. We need 40 chromatic metal. I don't know that amount of chrome. How much chrome did we have? I mean, copper did we have there? I don't think it was much. We may need to go out and find some more copper. We should check that. Let me check that. Should we try doing the... Ah! I was going to try to do the little jump jet boost there. I'm still not very good at it. Alright, we've got enough chromatic metal. In fact, let's go ahead and turn it all into chromatic metal for now, because remember the last two damaged machines that we found needed chromatic metal for the repairs. So I think we want to have as much of that on us as we can get. Alright, we're going to leave the refiner here in case we need it again, since this is actually going to be our base for the time being. Base computer claims a site for construction. Find a suitable area and deploy the base computer. Access the build menu with Z. There we go, and there's our base computer. We now claim this site in the name of Cougar. All Cougars everywhere. Thank you. It's getting cold out here now. I guess it gets cold at night. Here at this planet, which is kind of suck, but alright, register the land as yours. Use the base computer with E. Searching cartographic archives. Universal archive search reveals no prior claims on this site. Sonar test confirms site is suitable for construction. Claim site? Yes. This is now ours. Our site. Very good. Very good. Yeah, it's cold because the sun is down. Toggle the torch from the quick menu. That's just a recommendation. What we really need to do is search the base computer archives using E is what the game wants us to do right now. Accessing log from previous user. Storm sweeping across, but construction supplies low. Depositing shelter plans while need to back soon. Download the construction plans. Core infrastructure parts received. 5 items learned. We need to make a wooden wall for base construction. In order to do that, we need carbon. We are all out of carbon. We need to go find some more carbon. I guess we'll go back over here where we were before and hope that that sentinel is no longer hanging around. So it's cold, the temperature is falling, but it's not that cold. Unless we get some kind of storm, I think we're going to be okay out here, probably through the night. Probably won't have to return to our ship or anything to stay warm. Alright, I don't hear or see the sentinel, so I think we're okay. Let's just give this a scan. There's ferrite out of here. Ferrite and pyrite. Not sure what we use pyrite for. Should we try and continue destroying that? That's a bunch of carbon. Scan this. This will give us carbon and cactus flesh. Not that interesting. There's something red glowing over here. I want to see what this is. If this is an oxygen plant, we need it. Yep. Okay, good. Carbon and cactus flesh from these. I'd rather have something that gives me something useful. Nitrogen we don't really need, but it's probably more useful than cactus flesh. I wonder if you eat cactus flesh. Now they're weapon charge depleted. Gotta load this back up with carbon now. X, F, and F. So, this is basically the No Man's Sky version of chopping trees with your fist in Minecraft. Just gotta go out and chop some trees. Choppy, choppy, tree. Saltritrus. Give me your carbon. And you give me your carbon and cactus flesh. Give me your carbon and nitrogen. Alright, we're up to 250 carbon now. That should be plenty to do our little initial construction. If we need to build 5 base pieces and each one takes 40 carbon, is that what it said? Then we should have plenty now. Alright, we'll head back after this. I'm going to try to do the... Nope, I'm still sucking at that. There we go. Is there something glowing there? No, that's just cactus. Why don't we jump back in our ship really quickly to warm up? Getting a little bit cold. Wait for my stamina to recharge. Alright. Oh, it's nice and warm in here. Whew. Now, see that copper deposit that we already mined? The indicator is still there. See down in the lower right-hand corner? That's something that I think should be addressed. Once that copper is all gone, there should no longer be an indication for a copper deposit there. Because if I go back there and try to get more copper out of it, I'm not going to be happy. Okay. We need... Hold on. I'm reading the lower right-hand corner. It tells me that we've accumulated sufficient dihydrogen to make a Starship launch fuel. So that leads me to believe that we used up the last of our launch fuel on that last little leg of our journey there. So we're going to have to make some more before we take off. But the first thing we need to do is build a basic base component. It wants us to build a wall. And maybe another wall. Let's just get something down here to complete the requirements. Wait a minute. Let's see what is it telling us to do. Well, for now it's telling us to construct metal plating for no particular reason, which requires ferrite. I didn't think that that was our goal here, but I guess we gotta get some ferrite going. Little rocks, little ferrite rocks, nothing. Oh, but there's also the Sentinel over here. Bye, Sentinel. Leaving. Don't mind me. Is it following me? Yeah, I know my life support's low. Oh, a storm coming. Alright, we got a storm hit. It's very hot out here. This is another heat storm. think we better... Good for us. We have traveled quite a bit already. Get back in, please. All right. It's a little bit cooler in here. Did I pick up enough ferrite to make a metal plate? I did. It's just do what it's telling me so that it moves on to something else. Not enough fuel and launch thruster. To do that, we need to create this launch fuel using dihydrogen and metal plating. We can do that. Now we can click on the launch thruster and load it with the Starship launch fuel. Now that should make that prompt go away. And so that we get back on track with our tutorial. It wants us to construct a shelter against hazards. Next thing we want to construct is a roof. F. There's a roof. Oh, we need no, we need ferrite dust to build a roof. So we risk the wrath of the Sentinel by harvesting more ferrite over here. I guess these little rocks will do. I'd rather something a little bit bigger. I don't want to do this a million times. These bigger ones... Hold on. Let's just get a scan before we blow it up. Painekite. Or Painekite. I'll take it. These are bigger ones. Yeah, but if the storm ended, it's just cold now. I think that when you start building the shelter, the game automatically gives you a storm to kind of emphasize that you can take shelter in your structure from that storm. There's a Sentinel out there, probably not happy with me. What do we got here? These will give us carbon and cactus flesh. I don't care about the cactus flesh. I will take some more ferrite though. Oh, I should have scanned that before I blew it up. Painekite. Alright, our weapon charge is depleted. We need to load it back up by hitting X and F and F. Okay. Now we should have enough ferrite to build our roof. Now it's telling us to build a wooden door frame. What? Apparently I built a roof. I built a roof in my base instead of on top of it. So good on me there. I think you can destroy these. It may require an actual weapon to destroy. Wow. Yeah, I think we need a weapon to destroy that. Oh my gosh. Alright, well, let's just build a door to get through the tutorial messages here. Cannot build a door. I need more carbon. I just loaded all my carbon into my mining tool. Now I gotta go get more. And our life support is really low. So before we do that, let's recharge our life support with oxygen. Actually, I had an oxygen canister there. I should have used that instead. Boy, I am really clearing this whole area out of good harvestable materials pretty quickly. Maybe this wasn't the best place to start our base. Just trying to get away from that Sentinel. Carbon, carbon. Some new mineral formation. Carbon. Another unidentified plant. Carbon and cactus flesh again. Not great. don't know, maybe carbon flesh is, or cactus flesh is like really super valuable and I should be jumping for joy. I don't know. That was a new plant. I hadn't scanned that yet. Okay. Ooh, that's cool. Look, it's like plant and mineral. Ferrite dust and pyrite. You can always use more ferrite dust. Alright, a couple more, and another unidentified plant. Man, there's a lot of similar but not the same plants around here. Pulpibus. Pulpibus. Oh, these are the good ones with the oxygen in them. Let's get these. Alright. Okay, heading back. Dokie. Artichokey. Let's see if it lets us build that wooden door frame with the roof in there. Bob the Builder, that's me. Building roofs inside buildings. Z to bring up the build menu. F to select basic components, F to select wooden components, and there's our door. Okay. Alright, base archives updated, new signal acquire. Log updated, return to the base computer. Will do. Accessing log from previous user, additional archives recovered. Entry follows. Construction largely a success except for the fact that I put the roof inside the building. Recovered salvage technology from nearby. Plans logged. Scans indicate several subterranean devices. Beginning search. Download those plans. Whoever recorded these logs evidently had some success. I have access to their plans and perhaps I can learn from their efforts. A new building part was learned. The blueprint analyzer. To make that we need magnetized ferrite and carbon nanotubes. We can make a carbon nanotubes now, but in order to make the magnetized ferrite, we have to process ferrite dust into pure ferrite and then process the pure ferrite into the magnetized ferrite. So let's try to make that happen. Start off by getting the dust into pure ferrite. Now, there are mineral formations that will give you pure ferrite straight up. You don't need to process it. But I don't remember having scanned anything like that so far. Let's see if we can... Yeah, we're close enough to that to scan it. Let's see what that would give us. Yeah, pure ferrite from this big rock formation down here. So maybe we can shortcut our pure ferrite refining a little bit and just grab some right out of here. Oh, except for these large ones, we need the advanced mining laser, which we don't have yet. So, screw that. In the meantime, some more carbon and oxygen. We've got a nice little cluster of the carbon-oxygen plants here. Okie dokie. Looks good. Oh. Okay, that's a starship. Ooh, that's a cool looking ship. Oh, I want one of those. Scan these flying things. Gaspamvisus. Gaspamvisus. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, hostile plant. The hostile plants, yes, they do damage, but they're also a guaranteed source of oxygen. So I try to destroy them wherever I see them, just for the oxygen. There's something down there. Blueprint analyzer requires magnetite ferrite. Collect pure ferrite from the refiner. I'm going. more of the good carbon oxygen plants here. Now, I'll bet the last couple of crashed freighters like this that I've seen have all had good loot buried down there. That's something that we could look into now that we have the terrain manipulator. Alright, let's pick up our pure ferrite and pop it right back in here to be turned into magnetized ferrite. Okay, let that cook. Let's pull up our, our base. Oh, this is useful. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah. Good construction job there, Cougar. Nice building. All right, let's pull up our scanner here and see what's buried around here that we might be able to dig up. There's a cargo pod 93 meters that way. Hold on, let me tag it. It may or may not be actually buried. That may just be sitting on the surface. No, it looks like it is buried. Yeah, it's right underneath us. So if there's not like a cave right down here, could this be a cave entrance? If not, then we're just going to have to dig it up. Yeah, we're going to have to dig it up. Alright, so we pull up the terrain manipulator. And what happened to the marker? There it is. Big cargo pod. Clear out all the terrain around it. There's going to be a door on one side or the other. Or maybe the top. What was that? Structure entered. MS Star of Zuana Ada Freighter Terminal. Okay. Oh, you know what? Before I open this, the last couple of these that I've opened, it has given me... There's been radiation as soon as I opened it, so I just want to make sure I have a clear path out of here after I open it. Alright. Oh, we're going to have to repair something with pugnium and cobalt, neither of which we have discovered yet. So we're going to have to put that on hold. Just remember it's here. Keep an eye out for pugnium and cobalt, was it? And I'll bet these other ones, there was at least one more buried here, right? There's one over there. I'll bet these are also going to require some type of repair in order to get open. So we'll just put that on hold for the time being. Let's go back and check on our ferrite production. Base registered to current owner. Upload and construction permissions granted. Note, uploading will overwrite any previous uploaded bases for this planet. This wasn't even what I meant to do. Use the space station terminus to teleport to the base at any time. Rename the base, upload the base. Let's just upload it. I think we get a little bit of credits for that. Anyway, I meant to go to the refiner. I wasn't even meaning to go to the base computer. Alright, there's our magnetized ferrite. And then we needed carbon nanotubes. We have plenty of carbon. We should have plenty of carbon still to make that. We just need one, right? Okay. And now, new blueprints. Deploy the blueprint analyzer. Access the build menu with Z. And equipment F. And portable technology F. And there's our blueprint analyzer. We have everything we need to make it. Exit, and now use it. Analysis unit online, awaiting input, diagnostic suggestion. User should recover buried technology from dig sites. Equip and utilize the analysis visor. Let's check out what is available for us to learn. A save point, a base transport module, health station wooden doorway, hazard protection unit, communications station, more construction stuff. Beds, furnitures, lights, etc., etc. But in order to unlock any of these blueprints, we need salvage modules. Salvage modules are obtained from buried stuff like the cargo pod, but it has a different designation. Let's see if we can find one around here. Pyrite deposit, floating crystal, organic rock, cargo pod, damaged machinery. I'm not seeing any buried tech here. It would have like a down arrow as the icon to indicate that it's buried tech. Alright, there is none right around here, so what we're going to have to do is just kind of move to another area and look for the buried technology indicator. Why don't we move towards something useful? Is there another oh, wait, alien artifact? That's pretty close. We'll call that useful. Alien artifacts will teach you words in the languages of other alien races. The more, when you first start interacting with the alien races, you won't understand a word that they're saying. As you learn words in their language, you can start piecing together what they're trying to communicate to you. It also gives you, you know, it unlocks, it advances your progression. Thought I was about to fall. Wow. Nice day for exploring. More plants. Those are the good plants. Oh, that's the train manipulator. I'm gonna harvest any of these plants I see. These are good to have. And we don't have that much carbon on us right now. Or oxygen, really. As long as there's no sentinel here to tell me to stop, I'm going to blow up all the plants. Take their stuff. Oop, oxygen plants. Alright, now that when we get to the alien artifact, we'll scan for buried tech again. Borakin, 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 Yun, Yun, Yun. The stone resonates, producing a sound that fills my mind. A vision begins to take shape. A robotic life form turns toward me. Light streams from their metal shell, forming a glowing fog that surrounds us both. They gesture toward me. The name Korvax floats in my vision, an echo of a strange vision I just experienced. A word of this alien tongue is seared into my brain. I have learned the Korvax word for rare. That's useful. Now, let's see if there's any buried tech within range now. There's an unknown structure, an abandoned building out there. Let's go ahead and tag that for the time being. Copper deposit. Pyrite. I'm not seeing... These are all mineral deposits, as far as I can see. No buried tech yet. No, 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 no. None. Alright, so... let's move somewhere else and scan again. Why don't we move toward that abandoned building? I think that's going to take us right past the copper deposit. Maybe we mine some copper on the way there. That's pyrite. Where was copper? Copper's there and it's close. So, I've yet to encounter any really hostile animals. I think that they can turn hostile if you harm them. But I don't know that for sure. Have we scanned one of these yet? Yes, we have. Those are the xenoaftos. More dihydrogen here. Hey, you're not going to be picking this up all the time, but remember, our launch thrusters were completely depleted. The last time we were at the ship, so we're going to need more. I thought we would run right into that carbon, but I'm not... I mean, that copper deposit, but I'm not seeing it now. Jettison pods and cargo drops. Alien artifact. Alien artifacts. Copper deposit is right there in front of me. Unfortunately, there is a sentinel hanging around. Let's try to get as far away from him as we can before we start digging this up. Change to our terrain manipulator. And we are out of charge on the terrain manipulator. We need ferrite. We have all that magnetized ferrite, so that'll help. Where's that sentinel? Did he get interested? Yeah, he's interested. He must have sensed us digging that up. Well, unless he leaves, I'm not gonna be able to finish doing this. What are those? Are those life forms? Yeah. Almost like insects, aren't they? Butterflies? Stariclums. Alright, let's see if we can get far enough away that we can continue mining this without him getting angry. No, he's right on top of it. Alright, let's just give it another couple of seconds. See if we can grab a little bit out of here before he comes back. Well, this was a fairly small deposit. We may be able to clean this up before he comes back. Alright. Alright, we got all that copper. Let's continue on to that building structure. Maybe as long as we've moved a little bit, we should... let's wait till we get to the structure and scan again. Ooh, that's a big structure. I have to fiddle with the settings here. Everything looks a little blurry to me. I may have a depth of field thing going on that I don't want. I hate depth of field in games. I thought I had switched it off, but I'll double check. Now, the first couple of times I started new games, I reached this point and I was able to immediately find some buried tech to keep going with the tutorial thing. I've not... There's some. Alright, see that it's shaped like a little down arrow? Alright, that's what we want. There's one anyway. We're probably going to need more than that. It's just... There's another one. Alright, there's another one there within sight. We'll go off and get that one and then come back here and get the other one. But in the meantime, let's just check out this wrecked building. Is it safe? Research specimen. I've never gotten a research specimen before. I don't know what that just gave me. Loot. Sodium. Ow! Oh! Something on the ceiling there. I can't shoot it. I can't deploy. I can't bring up my mining laser in here. Just have to watch out for that and more like them. More sodium nitrate. Here's something. We need an Atlas pass. So there are these keys that you can either find or create. They're called Atlas passes. I don't have one yet. Sure there's nothing up on the ceiling again. Okay. Well, something went horribly wrong here, clearly. Got some ammo for a gun that we don't have yet. That may be it for this little complex here. There's probably some stuff scattered around the outside, though. Ooh, whispering eggs. Wow. Okay. Oh boy, there's a whole mess of whispering egg clusters here. Okay, guys, these are potentially very valuable, but also potentially very dangerous. When I bust those open, there's going to be something valuable inside, but it's also probably going to spawn some hostile creatures. So I think what I'm going to do is jump jet up to the roof here and destroy them from up here and try to jump down and grab whatever comes out of there really quickly and then jump back up here. Alright, I want to... grab the larval core, and then get back up here. Now, we can destroy these creatures, or we can just wait them out. They will go away pretty soon. They'll actually burrow back down into the ground. Because I would rather not waste mining charge on them. Each one is going to take a bunch of mining charge to destroy. Go away now. It's cold up here. Could you please go away? Just thin them out enough to bust another one. Those larval cores will disappear if you don't pick them up right away. Ow! Taking a lot of damage. Wow, we almost died there. We're all the way down to about 20% health. We've got 2 extremely valuable artifacts out of that. We may just want to say okay with that. Go away now, guys. Go away. Well, I'll kill you if you want me to, but I would rather you just went away. Okay, swarm subsiding. I'd rather not, since we're only at 20% health, I would rather not risk opening another one of those right now. If we can happen to stumble across some kind of health kit here. Ooh, wow, this is really, really, really valuable location. Look at all these whispering eggs. Oh, man. What direction are we from our base? Where's our base? There's our base. Our base is to the... Come on, give me a compass heading. It's to the southeast. Our base is southeast. Oh, we can see this. We can see our base from there. There's the crashed freighter. So let's try to remember that this is here, and after we have some more health back, we'll come back and check that out some more. Maybe grab some more of the whispering eggs. Because these things, the larval cores that I picked up, each one of those is worth 190,000 units. I think that's... No, it's 95,000 each. So those are very, very valuable. And I would love to get more of them, but I don't want to risk dying in order to get them. Dangerous plant. Because what we're really looking for are the buried tech modules. Yeah, I know we're cold. It is a little bit cold. I have a feeling that the sun is probably going to come up before the cold starts damaging us. It's not that cold right now. Alright, there's a buried tech module. Let's just check our range. I don't want to go down right down on top of it. I'd rather go down sideways. Terrain manipulator. And there he is. Alright. Great. So we picked up 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of salvage tech, which are all we're going to need to complete the repairs that we were doing on the blueprint analyzer. But... Incoming storm. Well, I'm not going to go all the way back. So in a case like this, now that we have the terrain manipulator, you can just dig a hole and wait the storm out. But since we have that that structure so close, let me go over and check that out instead, or wait it out there instead. There's something up on the side of the mountain up there. Not sure what that is. We should go check that out. What are you doing? I want to zoom in. No, zoom in. I'm not sure why it's giving me that ball there. Wow, it's getting really hot now. Yeah, we're gonna get inside. Alright, we're out of the storm. We're fine. Alright, as we wait out this storm, this seems like a good place to call it an episode. We didn't accomplish a heck of a lot. We did find a place to start putting down a base. My initial attempt at constructing a little shelter for us went horribly wrong when I built the roof inside the base itself. That was kind of stupid. But that was just to, you know, to get through the tutorial. That was not going to actually be our base anyway. So with that, I hope you're enjoying the No Man's Sky Next playthrough. Leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. Until this storm passes, stay safe, survivors.